you're welcome again to Power Apps ABC. And on this session, I'll be showing us on how we can build our Leaf application. All right. Without wasting more time, sorry. Let's get started. Oh, okay. The overview of this application, we'll be having two roles, the user and the manager. It will be a one-step approval. Once the manager approves, a notification is being sent to the user that the leave request has been approved. So for this use case, we'll be just doing the basic request where the user or employee gets to fill in the request form, submit. It goes to the manager to approve. So we'll be building our own what's it called, landing page from scratch. This is this is the landing page I built for one of the application I worked on, the demo application I worked before. So for this leave request, we'll be building as from scratch. I actually design our data already. All right. So this is what I've not added it to, but this is what it looks like. We'll be having the employee name, which is a people or person column. This is employee name. So you can create a list and call it leave request. The leave type, we have different options here. We have the sick leave, the casual leave, and then what's it called? Vacation, pending on your use case. So this is just for beginners. You can actually get to improve on this. So depend on your organization also the start date when the leave is starting and the end date, and also the status. So if I check it on I edit it, you can see we have pending, approved and rejected. So let me just set the default to pending. So whenever an item is created, it is it will be pending. All right. The last column here is reason. Is the reason why you're going for leave. It's a multi-line of text. All right. So after this session, after the part one and two, we can actually take it to the next level, to the advanced level, where we're going to add the leave balance part. Where once you apply for leave, the calculation will be done, and those subtraction can be done after the leave has been approved. All right. So without wasting much time, let's like I said, we'll be designing our own leave landing page from scratch. I actually went on Google and I checked for some cool pictures. You can go to Google and type vacation image. All right, I've downloaded some like three, so we'll be trying out some of those image. All right, so without wasting much time again, let's get started. Here is the magic. So I'll be deleting this because I want us to. Let me just delete this screen so we can create everything from scratch using the leave request leave or vacation image. To do that, I want to add a blank screen so that we can create the landing page, everything from scratch. So, assuming you're a beginner, the first thing you do, you just after opening your Power App Studio, this is the canvas where this is my left hand navigation, my tree view where I can see all my screens. If I click on this, it shows me the data I am using. Then here you can see your variables. If you have your collection and all that, you can search and Power Automate and any other advanced tools. All right. So without wasting much time, like I keep saying, we'll be adding. We want to design our landing page. We don't want to use this because we've used this for an incident application. So I'll just click on the new screen. I would call it. Let me rename it leave leave let's call it leave request landing page. For instance, you can name it something you can actually relate with. So this is our screen. So I'll be adding a container. I'll add a container, non-responsive container, so that we can add our image to. So I'll give it a width, parent.width. So if you want it to take the entire width of this canvas, you just give it you check on the width and you say parent.width. So currently it's 500. I want it to be parent.width. Parent.width. Then the height also you have to set it to parent.height. parent dot height. So this is the height. So you can see on the x-axis there is little gap, and on the y-axis, to do that you just go to your property pane on the right side, and you change it the x from 40 to, let's say, 0. Once you do that and you see it has lapped, same thing for the y-axis, we set it to 0, and it gets to fit proper. All right, the next thing is you can take out the border radius. We don't need the border radius. And also the border height, we're setting it to none. Drop shadow, I don't think we need it, so I'm setting it to none. So the next thing is I want to add my image. So I've not imported the downloaded image. To add your image, if you're a beginner, you just click on the media. So once you click on the media, you add, these are some of the image I have already because I used it for the previous application. So to add our image to this, I'll just say add media and upload. So I can upload the image. Remember I told you I downloaded image 1 to 3 for live application. I will just add all of them. So we'll just try out anyone that sits well. So I'll add the second one, live 2. I called it live 2. I'll add the last one, which is live 3. So we can actually select from the different image. So okay, having done this, the next thing is to go back to this container. Now we can just add our image control. So I will just select, you can say image, and you can see the image control here. If you don't want to use the insert here, you can go through this plus icon. Once you click on the plus icon, you can actually insert your controls from there. So we go back to this, and then we can resize it. The width, I want to change the width to parent.width so that it can cover the entire screen. Parent.width. So the height also, we'll go to the height property, say parent.height. So having done this, you can see the same space on the x-axis and the y-axis. We just set the x and y to 0. Go to your right hand side. Either you click it here and it brings it out, then you update it to 0. You do the same thing for the y. You just change it to 0 and it laps. So the next thing is to resize our image. You can see the current image position is fit. So we have different image position. I can change it to center. If you put it to center, you can see how it is. But the one we'll be using is fill. So I want it to fill the entire screen. Currently, no image is selected. I'll go to, let's try out leave 1 and see. This is how it looks. Let's try out leave 2. This is how it looks. Let's try out leave 3 and see. This is how it looks. So let's go with, I think I prefer leave 1. Alright, let's work with this and see. Let's work with this and see. So the next thing is just to add our title. Like you can see, welcome to, just like what we have here. I can just go here and just copy. Welcome to, instead of having, we just copy this. So I can just quickly Control C and copy so we can save time. But if you want to do, let's just go back to this. Let's go back to this. If you want to do this, the next thing, you just click on this container, then you insert another container here. Container. Now I'm using a responsive container because I'm using a vertical container because the title will be on top of each other. So you can see this is closer to the top. I can either use on this container. Let me name it to my main or root container. Let's call it root container. On this root container, I can choose to give it a padding top so that I can bring down this, but I can. So the next thing is I can either use that one, or play with the x and y. Currently the x is 40. If I change the x to 100, you can see it has moved to the right. Now the y, I want to center it. So what I will do is I will just click on the y I'll click on the Y. Currently the Y is 40. I want to set it dynamically. So what I will do is I will just say parent. I will just type parent. Alright, parent dot height divide by 2 minus self dot height divide by 2. So you can see it has been centered. It has been centered. So the next thing is to maybe we want to increase the width, or yeah, we want to increase the width of this container, which will be what will be housing our welcome to maybe employee leave request application. All right, we want to increase the width and the height. We want to increase the width and the height. So we now go to the height. Currently the width is 500. We can, if you want to increase, you can say 550, for instance. The width has increased. Then the height is currently 200. So I would make the height, let's say 450. All right, you can see the height is, the thing has resized. Let's make the width to be 600. Or let's say width, parent or width divide by 2. So it will get to take half of divide by 2. All right, this is better. So the next thing is, if we want to increase the width, we can add the Y. I can go on the Y and just add 20 so that it can come down a little. I can go to the, then I want to plus 20. You can see it is down a little. So the next thing is just to add those controls. So these, I want to take out the border so it will not be visible. I'll take out the border radius, drop shadow, I'll set it to none. And if I remove this, you will not see container, but there's container there. So with this vertical container now, we can now place our text label or HTML text. But for this application, for this landing page, what I use is HTML text. So HTML text will just help you with the styling. So you can just, I want to copy it. I would click on it, then Ctrl C and copy. So we can save time. So I'll come back here. Inside this container, you can now paste it. Once you paste it, you can see welcome to the, so you can now update the text here. Welcome to the, we can call it employee leave request. Welcome to incident reports app. We can call it employee. Welcome to employee leave app. Employee leave app, for instance. Okay, I have it double, so let's go back. So this is what we have currently. So you can choose to add a gap or padding top so that to shift the text downwards. So I can come down here and padding top, we can say 50, for instance. You can see it has brought it down a little. If you feel this color is not loud, let's try and use white. Let's try and use white and see. Currently it's primary color. Would white work? Let's say color.white. Want to see. White is not that. Let's go back. Let's try out this. Let's try out yellow. Welcome to the, this is not it. Let's try out this. Let's try out, I'm just trying out some colors. I want something that would look different from the original color. So we tried white. Let's see black. Welcome to the employee leave app. Does black look like it? Let's try this. All right, so it's trying to save. So color. Mm, mm, mm. All right, let's also try this as yellow and see how it looks. Okay, let me just add padding top so we can bring it down. Padding top 60. Let's make it 70. All right, so we can see now, we can see our buttons, but I'm thinking the color is not really. Welcome to the employee leave application, leave app. This color, does it look nice? You can drop that in the comment section. So let me try and see if I can still update this color. I'm not really cool with it. I have issues with colors. So let's see this. Yeah, I'll just work with my primary color. Let's play this. For now, we can work with this. Let's work with this. So the next thing is to add our button. We'll just have to add two buttons, employee and manager, because we have two rows for this. So what to do that, you just select this container, then you will be adding an horizontal container so to house the two buttons. So if I don't want to still waste time, I can just come down to the previous screen and just copy it. I'll just copy it. So I'm just copying this container that houses these two buttons so that we can save time. I come back to this, then I click on this, I'll paste. So you can see. So we'll just rename this to employee. Then this other one to manager. Alright, the next thing is we can choose to just resize it to reduce the size a little. Resizing, the width is currently 210. Let's make it 200 and see how it looks. Let's make it 190 and see how it looks. Alright, so I'll make this one also 190. Alright, okay. So if we want to push it down a little, we can still add padding top. We can make it 100 so that it can come down. Let's make it 90. Alright, so this is it. If I play it, you can see welcome to employee leave app. So we are done with the landing page. So the next session will be creating our new request form and also the display form. All right, so if you derive value from this, you can hit the subscribe button. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. So the next session will be on creating our leave, the new request form, the display form, and the manager screen. So thank you very much.